I learn in this letter that Don Pedro of Aragon comes this night to Messina.
He is very near by this. He was not 3 leagues off when I left him.
How many gentlemen have you lost in this action?
But few of any sort and none of name.
A victory is twice itself when the achiever brings home full numbers. I find here that Don Pedro hath bestowed much honor on a young Florentine called Claudio.
Much deserved and equally remembered by Don Pedro. He hath borne himself beyond the promise of his age, doing so in the figure of a lamb, the feats of a lion. He hath indeed better expectations than you can expect of me to tell you how.
He hath an uncle here in Messina will be very much glad of it.
I have delivered him letters, and there appears much joy. So much that joy cannot show itself modest without a badge of bitterness.
Did he break into tears?
Oh, in great measure.
A kind overflow of kindness. There are no faces truer than those that are so washed. How much better is it to weep at joy than to joy at weeping?
I pray you, is Signor Montanto returned from the wars or no?
I'm sorry, lady, I know none of that name. There was none in the army of any sort.
What is he that you ask for, niece?
My cousin means Signor Benedick of Padua.
Oh, yes, he has returned, and as pleasant as ever he was.
He set up his bills here in Messina and challenged Cupid at the flight. And my uncle's fool, reading the challenge, subscribed for Cupid and challenged him at the bird bolt. I pray you, how many hath he killed and eaten in these wars? But how many hath he killed? For indeed I promise to eat all of his killing.
Faith, niece, you tax Signor Benedick too much. But he'll be meat with you, I doubt it not.
He hath done good service in these wars, lady.
You had musty victual, and he hath hoped to eat it. He is a very valiant trencherman. He hath an excellent stomach.
And a good soldier too, lady.
And a good soldier to a lady. But what is he to a lord?
A lord to a lord, a man to a man, stuffed with honorable virtues.
It is so indeed. He is no less than a stuffed man. But as for the stuffing, well, we are all mortal.
You must not, sir, mistake my niece. There's a sort of merry war betwixt Signor Benedick and her. They never meet, but there is a skirmish of wit between them.
Alas, he gets nothing by that. In our last conflict, 4 of his 5 wits went halting off, and now is the whole man governed with 1. So that if he have wit enough to keep himself warm, let him bear it for a difference between himself and his horse. For it is all the wealth he hath left to be known a reasonable creature. Who is his companion now? He hath every month a new sworn brother.
Is possible?
Very easily possible. He wears his faith, but as the fashion of his hat. It ever changes with the next block.
I take it this gentleman is not on your books.
No, and he were, I would burn my study. But I pray you, who is his companion? Is there no young squarer now that will make a voyage with him to the devil?
He is in the company of the right noble Claudio.
Oh, Lord, he will hang upon him like a disease. He is sooner caught than the pestilence, and the taker runs presently mad. God help the noble Claudio. If he have caught the Benedick, it will cost him 1,000 pound ere be cured.
I will hold friends with you, lady.
Do, good friend.
You will never run mad, niece.
No, not till a hot January.
Don Pedro is approached.
Good, Signor Leonardo. You are come to meet your trouble. It is the fashion of the world to avoid costing you encounter.
Never came trouble to my house in the likeness of your grace. For trouble being gone, comfort should remain. But when you depart from me, sorrow abides, and happiness takes its leave.
You embrace your charge too willingly. I think this is your daughter.
Her mother hath many times told me so.
Were you in doubt, sir, that you asked her?
Signor Benedick, no, for then were you a child.
You have it full, Benedict. We may guess by this what you are, being a man. Truly the lady fathers herself. Be happy, lady, you are like an honorable father.
If Signor Leonato be her father, she would not have his head on her shoulders, for all Messina is like him as she is.
I wonder that you will still be talking, Signor Benedick. Nobody marks you.
What? My dear Lady Disdain, are you yet living?
Is it possible Disdain should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Benedick? Courtesy itself must convert to disdain if you come in her presence.
Then is courtesy a turncoat. But it is certain I am loved of all ladies. Only you accept it. And I would I could find in my heart that I had not a hard heart, for truly, I love none.
A dear happiness to women. they would else have been troubled with a pernicious suitor. I thank God in my cold blood I am of your humor for that. I had rather hear a dog bark at a crow than a man swear he loves me.
God keep your ladyship still in that mind. So some gentleman or other shall escape a predestinate scratched face.
Scratching could not make it worse, and 'twere such a face as yours were.
Well, you are a rare parrot teacher.
A bird of my tongue is better than a beast of yours.
I would my horse had the speed of your tongue, and so good it continue. But keep your way. In God's name, I have done.
You always end with a jade's trick. I know you of old.
That is the sum of all, Leonardo. Signor Claudio, Signor Benedict, my dear friend Leonardo hath invited you all. I tell him we shall stay here at least a month, and he heartily prays some occasion may detain us longer. I dare swear he is no hypocrite, but prays from his heart.
If you swear, my lord, you will not be forsworn. Let me bid you welcome, my lord. Being reconciled to the prince your brother, I owe you all duty.
I thank you. I'm not of many words, but I thank you.
Please at your grace lead on.
Your hand, Leonardo. We will go together.
Benedick, didst thou note the daughter of Signor Leonato?
I noted her not, but I looked on her.
Is she not a modest young lady?
Do you question me, as an honest man should do, for my simple true judgment? Or would you have me speak after my custom, as being a professed tyrant to their sex?
No, I pray thee, speak in sober judgment.
Why, in faith, methinks she too low for a high praise, too brown for a fair praise, and too little for a great praise. Only this commendation I can afford her, that were she other than she is, she were unhandsome. And being no other but as she is, I do not like her.
Thou thinkest I am in sport. I pray thee, tell me truly how thou likest her.
Would you buy her, that you inquire after her?
Can the world buy such a jewel?
Yea, and a case to put it in, too. But speak you this with a sad brow? Or do you play the flouting jack to tell us Cupid is a good hair finder and Vulcan a rare carpenter? Come, in what key shall a man take you to go in the song?
In mine eye, she is the sweetest lady that ever I looked upon.
I can see yet without spectacles, and I see no such matter. There's her cousin, and were she not possessed with a fury, exceeds her as much in beauty as the first of May doth the last of December. But I hope you have no intent to turn husband. Have you?
I would scarce trust myself, though I had sworn the contrary, if Hero would be my wife.
Is it come to this? In faith, hath not the world one man, but he will wear his cap with suspicion? Shall I never see a bachelor of 80 again? Go to, in faith, and thou wilt needs thrust thy neck into a yoke, wear the print of it, and sigh away Sundays. Look, Don Pedro has returned to seek you.
What secret hath held you here that you fall not to Leonardo's?
I would your grace would constrain me to tell.
I charge thee on thy allegiance.
You hear, Count Claudio, I can be secret as a dumb man. I would have you think so. But on my allegiance, mark you this. On my allegiance, he is in love. With who? Now, that is your grace's part. Mark how short his answer is. With Hero, Leonato's short daughter.
If it were so, so were it uttered.
Well, amen if you love her, for the lady is very well worthy.
You speak this to fetch me in, my lord.
By my troth, I speak my thought.
And in faith, my lord, I spoke mine.
And by my two-face in troth, my lord, I spoke mine.
That I love her, I feel.
That she is worthy, I know.
That I neither feel how she should be loved, nor know how she should be worthy, is the opinion that fire cannot melt out of me. I will die in it at the stake.
Thou wast ever an obstinate heretic in the despite of beauty.
And never could maintain his part, but in the force of his will.
That a woman conceived me, I thank her. That she brought me up, I likewise give her most humble thanks. But that I will have her a cheat winded in my forehead, or hang my bugle in an invisible baldric, all women shall pardon me. Because I will not do them the wrong to mistrust any. I will do myself the right to trust none. And the fine is, for which I may go the finer, I will live a bachelor.
I shall see thee ere I die, look pale with love.
With anger, with sickness, or with hunger, my lord, not with love. Prove ever that I lose more blood with love than I will get again with drinking. Pick out mine eyes with a ballad maker's pen, and hang me at the door of a brothel house for the sign of blind Cupid.
Well, if ever thou dost fall from this faith, thou wilt prove a notable argument.
If I do, hang me in a bottle like a cat and shoot at me, and let he that hits me be clapped on the shoulder and called Adam.
Well, as time shall try. In time the savage bull doth bear the yoke.
The savage bull may, but if ever the sensible Benedick bear it, let them pluck out the bull's horns and set them in my forehead, and let me be vilely painted, and in such great letters as they write, "Here is the good horse to hire." Let them signify under my sign, "Here you may see Benedick, the married man."
If this should ever happen, thou wouldst be horn mad.
Oh, nay, if Cupid hath not spent his quiver in Venice, thou wilt quake for this shortly.
I look for an earthquake too, then.
Well, you temporize with the hours. In the meantime, good Signor Benedict, repair to Leonardo's and commend me to him. Tell him I will not fail him at supper, for indeed he hath made a great preparation.
I have almost matter enough in me for such an embassage. And so I commit you both
To the tuition of God from my house, if I had it.
The 6th of July, your loving friend, Benedict.
Nay, mock not, mock not. The body of your discourse is sometimes guarded with fragments, and the guards of it slightly basted on neither. Ere you flout old ends any farther, examine your conscience. And so I leave you.
My liege, your highness now may do me some good.
My love is thine to teach. Teach it but how, and see how apt it is to learn any hard lesson that may do thee good.
Hath Leonardo any son, my lord?
No child but Hero, she's his only heir. Dost thou affect her, Claudio?
Oh, my lord, when you went onward on this ended action, I looked upon her with a soldier's eye, that liked, but had a rougher task at hand than to drive liking to the name of love. But now I am returned, and that war thoughts have left their places vacant, in their rooms come thronging soft and delicate desires, all prompting me how fair young Hero is, saying I liked her ere I went to wars.
You'll be like a lover presently, and tire the hero with a book of words. If thou dost love fair Hero, cherish it, and I will break with her and with her father, and you shall have her. What's not to the sin that thou beganst to twist so fine a story?
How sweetly you do minister to love, that no loves grief by his complexion. But lest my liking might too sudden seem, I would have salved it with a longer treatise.
What need the bridge much broader than the flood? The fairest grant is the necessity. Look, what will serve is fit. 'Tis once thou lovedst, and I will fit thee with the remedy. I know we shall have reveling tonight. I will assume thy part in some disguise and tell fair Hero that I am Claudio. And in her bosom I'll unclasp my heart and take her herein prisoner with the force and strong encounter of my amorous tale. Then after to her father will I break, and the conclusion is, she shall be thine. In practice, let us put it presently.
How now, sister? Where is my cousin, your son? Will he be providing the music?
Oh, he's very busy about it. But, brother, I can tell you strange news that you yet dreamt not of.
Are they good?
As the event stamps them. If a good cover, they show well outward. The prince and Count Claudio, walking in the thick-pleached alley in mine orchard, were thus overheard by a man of mine. The prince discovered to Claudio that he loved my niece, your daughter, and meant to acknowledge it this night in a dance. And if he found her inaccordant, he meant to take the present time by the top and instantly break with you of it.
Hath the fellow any wit that told you this?
A good sharp fellow. I'll send for him at once and question him yourself.
No. We'll hold it as a dream till it appear itself. But I will acquaint my daughter with all, that she may be the better prepared for an answer if peradventure this be true. Go you and tell her of it.
What the good year, my lord? Why are you thus out of measure sad?
There is no measure in the occasion that breeds. Therefore the sadness is without limit.
Well, you should hear reason.
And when I have heard it, what blessing brings it?
If not a present remedy, at least a patient sufferance.
I wonder that thou, being as thou sayest, thou art born under Saturn, would goest about to apply a moral medicine to a mortifying mischief. I cannot hide what I am. I must be sad when I have cause, and smile at no man's jests, eat when I have stomach, and wait for no man's business, sleep when I am drowsy, and tend to no man's leisure, and laugh when I am merry, and claw no man in his humor.
Yea, but you must not make full show of this till you may do it without controlment. You have of late stood out against your brother, and he hath ta'en you newly into his grace, where it isn't possible that you should take true root, but by the fair weather that you make yourself. It is necessary that you frame the season for your own harvest.
I'd rather be a canker in a hedge than a rose in his grace. It better fits my blood to be disdained of all than to fashion a carriage to rob love from many. This though I cannot be said to be a flattering, honest man, for it cannot be denied but I am a plain-dealing villain. I'm entrusted with a muzzle and enfranchised with a clog. Therefore I've decreed not to sing from my cage. If I had my mouth, I would bite. If I had my liberty, I would do my liking. Therefore let me be that I am, and seek not to alter me.
Can you make no use of your discontent?
I make all use of it, for I alone use it. Who comes here? What news brought you?
I come from a great feast, where the prince, your brother, is being royally entertained by Leonato. And I can give you intelligence of an intended marriage.
Will it serve for any model of which to build mischief upon? Who is he for a fool that would betroth himself to unquietness?
Mary, it is your brother's right hand.
Who? The most exquisite young Claudio?
Oh, even he.
The proper squire? And who? Which way look he?
Mary, on Hero, the daughter and heir of Leonato.
A very forward march, chick. How came you to this?
Being entertained for a perfumer as I was, smoking me a musty room, comes me the prince and Claudio, hand in hand in sad conference. I whipped behind me the arras, and there heard it agreed upon that the prince should woo Hero for himself, and having obtained her, give her to Count Claudio.
Come, let us thither, that this may prove food for my displeasure. That young startup hath all the glory of my overthrow. Therefore, if I can cross him in any way, I bless myself in all ways. You are both sure, and will assist me.
To the death, my lord.
Let us to the banquet, where their cheer is the greater that I am subdued. Were the cook of my mind, shall we see what's to be done?
We'll wait upon your lordship.
Was not Count John here at supper?
Oh, I saw him not.
How tartly that gentleman looks. I never can see him, but I am heartburned an hour after.
He has a very melancholy disposition.
He were an excellent man that were made just in the midway between him and Benedick. The one is too like an image and says nothing, and the other too like my lady's eldest son, evermore tattling.
Then half Signor Benedick's tongue in Count John's mouth, and half Count John's melancholy in Signor Benedick's face.
With a good leg and a good foot, uncle, and money enough in his purse, such a man would win any woman in the world if it could get her goodwill.
By my troth, niece, thou wilt never get thee a husband if thou be so shrewd of thy tongue.
In faith, she's too cursed.
And too cursed is more than cursed. I shall lessen God's sending that way. For it is said, God sends a cursed cow short horns, but to a cow too cursed, he sends none.
So by being too cursed, God will send you no horns.
Just, if he sends me no husband. For the which blessing I am at him upon my knees every morning and evening. Lord, I could not endure a husband with a beard on his face. I had rather lie in the woolen.
You may light on a husband that hath no beard.
What should I do with him? Dress him in my apparel and make him my waiting gentlewoman. He that hath a beard is more than a youth, and he that hath no beard is less than a man. He that is more than a youth is not for me, and he that is less than a man, I am not for him. Therefore I will even take 6 pence in earnest of the bare word and lead his apes into hell.
Well, then go you into hell.
No, but to the gate. And there will the devil meet me like an old cuckold with horns on his head and say, Get you to heaven, Beatrice, get you to heaven. Here's no place for you maids. So deliver I up my apes, and away to St. Peter for the heavens. He shows me where the bachelors sit, and there live we as merry as the day is long.
Well, niece, I trust that you will be ruled by your father.
Yes, faith, it is my cousin's duty to make curtsy and say, Father, as it please you. But yet for all that, cousin, let him be a handsome fellow, or else make another curtsy and say, Father, as it please me.
Well, niece, I hope to see you one day fitted with a husband.
Not till God make men of some other metal than earth. Would it not grieve a woman to be overmastered with a pierce of valiant dust? To make an account of her life to a clod of wayward marl? No, uncle, I'll none. Adam's sons are my brethren, and truly, I hold it a sin to match in my kindred.
Daughter, remember what I told you. If the prince do solicit you in that kind, you know your answer.
The fault will be in the music, cousin, if you be not wooed in good time. If the prince be too important, tell him there is measure in everything, and so dance out the answer. For, hear me, hero. Wooing, wedding, and repenting is as a Scotch jig, a measure, and a syncopace. The first suit is hot and hasty, like a Scotch jig, and full as fantastical. The wedding, mannerly modest, like a measure, full of state and ancientry. And then comes repentance, and, with his bad legs, falls into the syncopace faster and faster till he sink into his grave.
Cousin, you apprehend passing shrewdly.
I have a good eye, uncle. I can see a church by daylight.
The revelers are entering, sister. Make good room.
Lady, will you walk about with your friend?
So you walk softly and look sweetly, yet say nothing. I'm yours for the walk, especially when I walk away.
With me in your company?
I may say so when I please.
When please you to say so?
When I like your favor. For God defend, the lute should be like the case.
My visor is my Lebensruf. Within the house is Jove.
Oh, then your visor should be thatched.
Speak low if you speak love.
Well, I would that you did like me.
So would not I, for your own sake. For I have many ill qualities.
Oh, and which is one of them?
I say my prayers aloud.
All the better that the hearers may cry amen.
God match me with a good dancer.
Amen.
And God keep him out of my sight when the dance is done.
I know you well enough. You are Signora Antonia.
At a word, I am not.
I know you by the waggling of your head.
In faith, I counterfeit her.
You could not do her so ill well unless you were the very woman. Here's her dry hand up and down. You are she, you are she.
At a word, I am not.
Do you think I do not know you by your excellent wit? Can virtue hide itself? Go to Mum, you are she. Races will appear, and there's an end.
Will you not tell me who told you it was so?
No, you shall pardon me.
Nor will you not tell me who you are?
Not now.
That I was disdainful, and that I had my good wit out of 100 merry tales. Well, this was Signor Benedick that said so.
What's he?
I'm sure you know him well enough.
Not I. Believe me.
Did he never make you laugh?
I pray you. What is he?
Why, he is the prince's jester, a very dull fool. Only his gift is in devising impossible slanders. None but libertines delight in him, and the commendation is not in his wit, but in his villainy. For he both pleases men and angers them, and then they laugh at him and beat him. I am sure he is in the fleet. I would he had boarded me.
When I know the gentleman, I'll tell him what you say.
Do. He'll but break a comparison or two on me, which, peradventure not marked or not laughed at, strikes him into melancholy. And then there's a partridge wing saved, for the fool will eat no supper that night. We must follow the leaders.
In every good thing.
Nay, if they lead to any ill, I'll leave them at the next turning.
Sure. My brother is amorous on Hero, and hath withdrawn her father to break with them about it. The ladies follow her, and but one visor remains.
Ah, and that is Claudio. I know him by his bearing.
Are you not Signor Benedick?
You know me well, I am he.
Signor, you are very near my brother. He is enamored on Hero. I pray you, dissuade him from her, for she is no equal to his birth. You may do the part of an honest man in it.
How know you he loves her?
I heard him swear his affection for her.
Oh, as did I. He swore you would marry her tonight.
Let us to the cellar.
Thus answer I in the name of Benedick. But hear these ill news with the ears of Claudio. 'Tis certain so. The prince woos for himself. Friendship is constant in all other things, save in the office and affairs of love. Therefore all hearts in love use their own tongues. Let every eye negotiate for itself, and trust no agent. For beauty is a witch, against whose charms faith melteth into blood. Farewell, therefore, hero.
Count Claudio!
Yea, the same.
Come, will you go with me?
Whither?
Even to the next willow. About your own business, County. What fashion will you wear your garland of? About your neck, like an usurer's chain? Or under your arm, like a lieutenant's scarf? You must wear it one way, for the prince hath got your hero.
I wish him joy of her.
Well, that's spoken like an honest drover. But did you think the prince would have served you thus?
I pray you leave me.
Oh, now you'll strike like a blind man. 'Twas the boy that stole your meat, and you'll beat the post.
If it will not be, I'll leave you.
Alas, poor hurt fowl. Now will he creep into sedges. But that my lady Beatrice should know me and not know me. The prince's jester. Well, it may be that I go into that title because I am married. Yea, but so I am apt to do myself wrong. I am not so reputed. It is the base, though bitter, disposition of Beatrice that puts the world into her person, so gives me out. Well, I'll be revenged as I may.
Now, senor, where's the count? Did you see him?
Troth, my lord, I have played the part of Lady Fame. I found him here as melancholy as a lodge in a warren. I told him, and I think I told him true, that your grace had got the goodwill of this young lady. And I offered him my company to a willow tree, either to make him a garland, as being forsaken, or to bind up a rod, as being worthy to be whipped.
To be whipped? Why? What's his fault?
The flat transgression of a schoolboy, who, being overjoyed with finding a bird's nest, shows it to his companion, and he steals it.
Will thou make trust a transgression? The transgression is in the stealer.
Yet it had not been amiss that the rod had been made, and the garland too. For the garland he might have worn himself, and the rod he might have bestowed on you, who, as I take it, have stolen his bird's nest.
I will but teach them to sing and restore them to the owner.
If their singing answer your saying, by my faith, you say honestly.
The Lady Beatrice hath a quarrel with you. The gentleman she danced with told her she is much wronged by you.
Oh, she misused me past the endurance of a block. An oak but with one green leaf on it would have answered her. She told me, not thinking I had been myself, that I was the prince's jester, that I was duller than a great thaw. Huddling jest upon jest with such impossible conveyance upon me that I stood like a man at a mark with a whole army shooting at me. She speaks poniards, and every word stabs. If her breath were as terrible as her terminations, there were no living near her. She would infect to the North Star. I would not marry her, though she were endowed with all that Adam had left him before he transgressed. Come, talk not of her. You shall find her the infernal latte in good apparel. I would to God some scholar would conjure her. For certainly, while she is here, a man may live as quiet in hell as in a sanctuary. And people sin upon purpose because they would go thither. So indeed, all disquiet and perturbation follows her.
Look, here she comes.
Will your grace command me any service to the world's end? I will go on the slightest errand now to the antipodes that you can devise to send me on. I will fetch you a toothpicker from the farthest inch of Asia. Bring you the length of Prester John's foot. I'll fetch you a hair off the great Sham's beard. Have you any embassies to the pygmies? Rather than hold 3 words conference with this harpy. Have you no employment for me?
None, but to desire your good company.
God, sir. Here's a dish I love not. I cannot endure my lady tongue.
Oh, come, lady, come. You have lost the heart of Signor Benedick.
Indeed, my lord. He lent it me a while, and I gave him use for it. A double heart for his single one. Marry, once before he won it of me with false dice, therefore your grace may well say I have lost it.
You put them down, lady, you put him down.
So I would not he should do me, my lord, lest I prove the mother of fools. I have brought Count Claudio, whom you sent me to seek.
How now, Count? Wherefore are you sad?
Not sad, my lord.
How then, sick?
Neither, my lord.
The count is neither sad, nor sick, nor merry, nor well, but civil count, civil as an orange, and something of that jealous complexion.
Your faith, lady, I think your blazon to be true. Though, I'll be sworn, if he be so, his conceit is false. Here, Claudio. I have wooed in thy name, and the fair hero is won. I broke with her father, his goodwill obtained. Name the day of the marriage, and God give thee joy.
Count, take of me my daughter, and with her my fortunes. His grace hath made the match, and in grace say amen to it.
Speak, Count. 'Tis your cue.
Silence is the perfectest herald of joy. I were but little happy if I could say how much. Lady, as you are mine, I am yours. I give away myself for you and dote upon the exchange.
Speak, cousin. Or if you cannot, stop his mouth with a kiss and let not him speak night.
In faith, lady, you have a merry heart.
Yea, my lord. I thank it, poor fool. It keeps on the windy side of care. My cousin tells him in his ear that he is in her heart.
And so she doth, cousin.
Good lord for alliance. Thus goes everyone to the world but I, and I am sunburnt. I may sit in a corner and cry, hi-ho for a husband.
Lady Beatrice, I will get you one.
I'd rather have one of your father's getting. Hath your grace ne'er a brother like you? Your father got excellent husbands, if a maid could come by them.
Will you have me, lady?
No, my lord. Unless I might have another for working days. Your grace is too costly to wear every day. But I beseech your grace, pardon me. I was born to speak all mirth and no matter.
Your silence most offends me, and to be merry best becomes you. For out of question, you were born in a merry hour.
Oh, sure, my lord. My mother cried. But then there was a star danced, and under that was I born. Cousins, God give you joy.
Niece, will you look to those things I told you of?
I cry your mercy, uncle. By your grace's pardon.
By my troth, a pleasant-spirited lady.
There's little of the melancholy element in her, my lord. She is never sad but when she sleeps, and not ever sad then, for I have often heard my daughter say that she hath dreamed of unhappiness and waked herself with laughing.
She cannot endure to hear tell of a husband.
Oh, by no means. She mocks all of her wooers out of suit.
She'd make an excellent wife for Benedick.
Oh, Lord. My lord, if they were but a week married, they would talk themselves mad.
County Claudio, when mean you to go to church?
Tomorrow, my lord. Time goes on crutches till love has all his rights.
Not till Monday, my dear son, which is hence a just 7 night, and a time too short, too, to have all things answer my mind.
Come, you shake the head at so long a breathing. But I'll warrant thee, Claudio, the time shall not go duly by us. I will, in the interim, undertake one of Hercules' labors, which is to bring Signor Benedick and the Lady Beatrice under a mountain of affection, the one with the other. I would fain have it a match, and I do not doubt but to fashion it. If you three would but minister such assistance as I shall give you direction.
My lord, I am for you, though it cost me 10 nights' watchings.
And I, my lord.
And you, gentle hero?
I will do any modest office, my lord, to help my cousin to a good husband.
And Benedick is not the unhopefullest husband that I know. Thus far can I praise him. He is of a noble strain, of approved valor and confirmed honesty. I will teach you to so humor your cousin that she shall fall in love with Benedick, and I, with your 2 helps, will so practice on Benedick that, despite his quick wit and queasy stomach, he shall fall in love with Beatrice. If we can do this, Cupid is no longer an archer. His glory is ours, for we are the only love gods. Go in with me, I will tell you my drift.
It is so that Count Claudio should marry the daughter of Leonato.
Yea, my lord, but I can cross it.
Any bar, any cross, any impediment will be medicinable to me, for I am sick in displeasure with him. Therefore, come whatsoever thwart his affection ranges evenly with mine. How canst thou cross this marriage?
Not honestly, my lord, but so covertly that no dishonesty shall appear in me.
Show me, briefly, how.
I think I told your lordship, a year since, how much I am in the favor of Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman to Hero.
I remember.
I can at any unseasonable instant of the night appoint her to look out her mistress's chamber window.
What life is in that to be the death of this marriage?
The poison of that lies in you to temper. Go you to the prince your brother, spare not to tell him that he hath wronged his honor in marrying the renowned Claudio, whose estimation you do mightily hold up, to a contaminated stale, such a one as Hero.
And what proof shall I make of that?
Prove enough to misuse the prince, to vex Claudio, to undo Hero, and to kill Leonato. Look you for any other issue?
Only to despite them I would endeavor anything.
Go then. Find me a meet hour to draw the Don Pedro and the Count Claudio alone. Tell them that you know that Hero loves me. Intend a kind of zeal as in love of your brother's honor, who hath made this match, and for affection of his friend, who is likely to be cozened with the semblance of a maid that you have discovered thus. I will scarcely believe this without trial, so offer them instances, which shall bear no less likelihood than to see me at her chamber window. Hear me term Margaret Hero, and bring them here this very night before the intended wedding. In the meanwhile, I will so fashion the matter that Hero shall be absent, and there shall seem such seeming truth of her disloyalty that jealousy shall be called assurance, and all the preparations overthrown.
Grow this to what adverse issue it can, and I will put it into practice. Be cunning in the working of this, and thy fee is 1,000 ducats.
Be you constant in the accusation, and my cunning shall not fail me.
I will presently go and learn the day of this marriage.
I do much wonder that one man, seeing how much another man is a fool when he dedicates his behaviors to love, will, after he hath laughed at such shallow follies in others, become the argument of his own scorn by falling in love. And such a man is Claudio. I have known him when there was no music with him but the drum and the fife, and now had he rather hear the tabor and the pipe. I have known him when he would have walked 10 miles afoot to see a good armor, and now will he lie 10 nights awake, carving the fashion of a new doublet. He was wont to speak plain and to purpose, like an honest man and a soldier. And now is he turned to orthography. His words are a very fantastical banquet. Just so many strange dishes. May I be so converted and see with these eyes? I cannot tell. I think not. I will not be sworn, but love may transform me to an oyster. But I'll take my oath on it. Till he hath made an oyster of me, he shall never make me such a fool. One woman is fair, yet I am well. Another wise, yet I am well. Another virtuous, yet I am well. Till all graces come in one woman shall not come in my grace. Rich she shall be, that's certain. Wise, or I'll none. Virtuous, or I'll never cheapen her. Fair, or I'll never look on her. Mild, or come not near me. Noble, or not I for an angel. Of good discourse, an excellent musician, and her hair shall be of what color it pleases God. The prince and Monsieur Love. I will hide in the bush.
See you where Benedick hath hid himself?
Oh, very well, my lord. We'll fit the kid fox with a pennyworth.
Come hither, Leonardo. What was it you told me of today? That your niece, Beatrice, was in love with Signor Benedick?
Oh, aye. Stalk on, the fowl sits. I did never think that lady would have loved any man.
No, nor I neither. But most wonderful that she should so dote on Signor Benedick, whom she hath in all outward behavior seemed ever to abhor.
Is it possible? Sits the wind in that corner?
By my troth, my lord, I cannot tell what to think of it but that she loves him with an enraged affection. It is past the infinite of thought. Maybe she doth but counterfeit.
Faith like enough.
Oh, God, counterfeit. There was never counterfeit of passion came so near the life of passion as she discovers it.
Why? What effects of passion shows she?
Bait the hook well, this fish will bite.
What effects, my lord? She will sit you. You heard my daughter tell you how.
She did indeed.
How? How, pray you? You amaze me. I would have thought her spirit had been invincible against all assaults of affection.
I would have sworn it had, my lord, especially against Benedick.
I should think this a gull, but that the old fellow speaks it, knavery cannot, sure, hide himself in such reverence.
He hath taken the infection. Hold it up.
Hath she made her affection known to Benedick?
No, and swears she never will. That's her torment.
So your daughter says, "Shall I," says she, "that have so often countered him with scorn, write to him that I love him?"
This says she now, when she is beginning to write him. For she'll be up 20 times a night, and there she will sit in her smock till she hath writ a sheet of paper. My daughter tells us all.
Now you talk of a sheet of paper. I remember a pretty jest your daughter told us of.
Oh, that when she had writ it and was reading it out, she found Benedick and Beatrice between the sheet.
That.
She tore that letter into 1,000 halfpence, railed against herself that she should be so immodest as to write one that she knew would flout her. I measure him, says she, by my own spirit, for I should flout him if he writ me, yea, though I love him, I should.
Then down upon her knees she falls, weeps, sobs, beats her heart, tears her hair, prays, curses. Oh, sweet Benedick, God give me patience.
She doth indeed. And the ecstasy hath so overborne her that my daughter is sometime afeard she will do a desperate outrage to herself. It is very true.
It were good Benedick should learn of it by some other, if she will not discover it.
To what end? He would make but a sport of it and torment the poor lady worse.
And he should, it were an alms to hang him. She's an excellent sweet lady, and out of all suspicion, she is virtuous.
And she is exceeding wise.
In everything but in loving Benedick. Oh, my lord, wisdom and blood combating in so tender a body. We have 10 proofs to 1 that blood hath the victory. I am sorry for her, as I have just cause being her uncle and her guardian.
I would she had bestowed this dotage upon me. I would have daffed all other respects and made her half myself. I pray you, tell Benedict of it and hear what it will say.
Were it good, think you?
Hero thinks surely she will die. For she says she will die if he love her not. And she will die ere she make her love known. And she will die if he woo her. Rather than she will bate one breath of her accustomed crossness.
She doth well. If she should make tender of her love, 'tis very possible he'll scorn it, for the man, as you know all, hath a contemptible spirit.
He is a very proper man.
He hath indeed some good outward happiness.
Before God, and in my mind very wise.
Ye doth indeed show some sparks that are like wit.
And I take him to be valiant.
Nope. As Hector, I assure you. And in the managing of quarrels, you may say he is wise, for either he avoids them with great discretion, or undertakes them with the most Christian-like fear.
If he do fear God, I must necessarily keep peace. If he break the peace, he ought enter into a quarrel with fear and trembling.
And so will he do. For the man doth fear God, howsoever it seems not in him by some large jests he will make. Well, I am sorry for your niece. Shall we go seek Benedict and tell him of her love?
Never tell him, my lord. Let her wear it out with good counsel.
Nay, that were impossible. She may wear her heart out first.
We will hear further of it by your daughter. Let it cool a while. I love Benedict well, and I could wish he would modestly examine himself to see how unworthy he is of so good a lady.
My lord, will you walk? Dinner is ready.
If he do not dote on her upon this, I will never trust my expectation.
Let there the same net be spread for her. That must your daughter and gentlewoman carry. The sport will be when the one holds an opinion of another's dotage in no such matter. That is the scene I would see, which will be merely a dumb show. Let us send her to call him into dinner.
This can be no trick. This conference was sadly born. They have the truth of it from Hero. It seems her affections have their full bent. Love me! Why, it must be requited. I hear how I am censured. They say I will bear myself proudly if I did perceive the love come from her. They say, too, that she would rather die than show any sign of affection to me. I did never think to marry. I must not seem proud. Happy are they that hear their detractions and can put them to mending. They say the lady is fair. 'Tis a truth. I can bear them witness. And virtuous. 'Tis so. I cannot reprove it. And wise but for loving me. By my troth, it would be no addition to her wit, nor no great argument to her folly, for I will be horribly in love with her. I may chance have some odd quirks and remnants of wit broken on me, because I have railed so long against marriage, but doth not the appetite alter? A man loves the meat in his youth he cannot endure in his age. Shall quips and sentences and these paper bullets of the brain awe a man from the career of his humor? No. The world must be peopled. When I said I would die a bachelor, I did not think I would live till I were married. Here comes Beatrice. Oh, by this day, she is a fair lady. I do spy some marks of love in her.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come in to dinner.
Fair Beatrice, I thank thee for your pains.
I took no more pains for those thanks than you take pains to thank me. If it had been painful, I would not have come.
You take pleasure, then, in the message?
Yea, just so much as you may take upon a knife's point and choke a doll withal. You have no stomach, signor? Fare you well.
Against my will, I am sent to bid you come into dinner. There's a double meaning in that. I took no more pains for those thanks than you took pains to thank me. That's as much to say as any pains she takes for me are as easy as thanks. If I do not take pity of her, I am a villain. If I do not love her, I am a fool. I will go get her picture.
Good Margaret, run thee to the parlor. There will thou find my cousin Beatrice proposing with the prince and Claudio. Whisper her ear and tell her Ursula and I walk in the garden and our whole discourses of her. Tell her thou overheard us and bid her steal into the pleached bower where honeysuckles ripened by the sun forbid the sun to enter. This is thine office. Now, bear thee well and leave us alone.
I'll make her come, I warrant you presently.
Good Ursula. When Beatrice doth come, as we do walk this garden up and down, our talk must only be of Benedict. When I do name him, let it be thy part to praise him more than ever man did merit. And my talk to thee will be how Benedict is sick in love with Beatrice. Of this matter is little Cupid's crafty arrow made, but only wounds by hearsay. Look, we begin where Beatrice, like a lapwing, runs close to the ground to hear our conference.
The pleasantest angling is to see the fish cut with her gold noise the silver stream, and greedily devour the treacherous spate. So angle we for Beatrice, who even now is couched low on the balcony. Fear you not my part in the dialogue?
Well, then go we near her, that her ear lose nothing of the false sweet bait we lay for it. No, truly, Ursula, she is too disdainful, for I know her spirits are as coy and wild as haggards of the rock.
But are you sure that Benedict loves Beatrice so entirely?
Oh, so says the prince and my new troth lord.
And did they bid you tell her of it, madam?
They did entreat me to acquaint her of it, but I persuaded them, if they loved Benedict, to wish him wrestle with affection, and to never let Beatrice know of it.
Why did you so? Doth not the gentleman deserve as full as fortunate a bed as ever Beatrice shall couch upon?
O God of love, I know he doth deserve as much may be yielded to a man, but nature never framed a woman of prouder stuff than that of Beatrice. Why, disdain and scorn ride sparkling in her eyes, misprizing what they look on, and her wit values itself so highly that to her all matters else seem weak. Well, she cannot love, nor take no shape or project of affection. She is so self-endeared.
Sure, and therefore certainly it were not good she knew his love, lest she make sport of it.
Why, you speak the truth. I never yet saw a man how wise, noble, young, and rarely featured. But she would spell him backwards. Why, if fair-faced, she would swear the man were her sister. Well, if black, nature, an antique drawing made a foul blot. If tall, a lance ill-headed. If low, an agate very vilely cut. If speaking, a vein blown with all winds. And if silent, a block moved with none. Well, so turns she every man the wrong side out, and never gives to truth and virtue that which simpleness and merit purchaseth.
Sure, sure. Such carping is not commendable.
No, to be so odd from all fashions as Beatrice, well, cannot be commendable. But who dare tell her so? If I were to speak, she would mock me into air. Well, she would laugh me out of myself and press me to death with wit. Therefore, let Benedict, like a covered fire, consume away in size and waste inwardly. It were better death than die with mocks, which is as bad as die with tickling.
Yet tell her of it. Hear what she will say.
No, no, no. Rather, I will go to Benedict and counsel him to fight against his passions. And surely I'll devise some honest slander to stain my cousin with. One does not know how much an ill word may empoison liking.
Oh, do not do your cousin such a wrong. She cannot be so much without true judgment, having so swift and excellent a wit as she is prized to have, as to refuse so rare a gentleman as Signor Benedick.
He is the only man of Italy, always accepted by my dear Claudio.
I pray you, be not angry with me, madam, speaking my fancy. Signor Benedick, for shape, for bearing,
yes.
argument, and valor, is foremost in report through Italy.
Well, indeed, he hath an excellent good name.
His excellence did earn it ere he had it. When are you married, madam?
Why, tomorrow every day. Come and go inside, and I'll show thee some attire and have thy counsel on which is best to furnish me tomorrow.
She is lined. I warrant you, we have caught her, madam.
Well, if so proves, then loving goes by haps. Some Cupid kills with arrows, some with traps.
What fire is in mine ears? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell, and maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedick, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. If thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind up our loves in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
I do but stay till your marriage be consummate, then go I toward Aragon.
I'll bring you thither, my lord, if you'll vouchsafe me.
Nay, that would be as great a soil in the new gloss of your marriage as to show a child his new coat and forbid him to wear it. I will only be bold with Benedict for his company, for from the crown of his head to the sole of his foot, the man is all mirth. He hath twice or thrice cut Cupid's bowstring, and the little hangman dare not shoot at him. He hath the heart as sound as a bell, and his tongue as the clapper. For what his heart thinks, his tongue speaks.
Gallants, I am not as I have been.
So say I. Methinks you are sadder?
I hope he be in love.
Hang him, truant. There is no true drop of blood in him to be truly touched with love. If he be sad, he wants money.
I have the toothache.
Draw it.
Hang it.
You must hang it first and draw it afterwards.
What? Sigh for the toothache?
Where is but a humor or a worm?
Well, everyone can master a grief, but he that has it.
Yet say I, he is in love.
There is no appearance of fancy in him.
Well, if he be not in love with some woman, there's no believing old signs. He brushes his hat on mornings. What should that bode?
Hath any man seen him at the barber's?
No, but the barber's man hath been seen with him. And the old ornament of his cheek hath already stuffed tennis balls.
Indeed, he looks younger than he did.
Nay, but... Arose himself with perfume. Can you smell him out by that?
That's as much as to say the sweet use in love.
The greatest note of it is his melancholy.
And when was he wont to wash his face?
Yea, or to paint himself. By the which, I hear what they say of him.
Nay, but his jesting spirit, which is now crept into a lute string and now governed by stops.
Indeed, that tells a heavy tale for him. Conclude. Conclude he is in love.
Nay, but I know who loves him.
That's what I know too. I warrant one that knows him not.
Yes, and his ill conditions. And in despite of all, dies for him.
She shall be buried with her face upwards.
Yet, is this no charm for the toothache? Old senor, walk aside with me. I have studied 8 or 9 wise words to speak to you, which these hobby horses must not hear.
For my life to break with him about Beatrice.
'Tis even so. Hero and Ursula have by this played their parts with Beatrice, and then the two bears will not bite one another when they meet.
My lord and brother, God save you.
Good den, brother.
If your leisure served, I would speak with you.
In private?
If it please you. Yet Count Claudio may hear, for what I have to speak of concerns him.
What's the matter?
Means your lord to marry tomorrow?
You know he does.
Ooh, I know not that when he knows what I know.
If there be any impediment, I pray you discover it.
You may think I love you not. Let that appear hereafter, and aim better at me, by that I will now manifest. For my brother, I think he holds you well, and in dearness of heart hath helped to effect your ensuing marriage. Surely, labor ill spent and suit ill bestowed.
Why? What's the matter?
Well, I came hither to tell you, and circumstances shortened, for she has been far too long a talking of. But the lady is disloyal.
Who? Hero?
Even she, Leonato's hero, your hero, every man's hero.
Disloyal?
The word is too good to paint out her wickedness. I could say she were worse. Think you of a worse title, and I will fit her to it. Wander not till further warrant, but go with me tonight, and you shall see her chamber window entered, even the night before her wedding day. If you love her then, tomorrow wed her, but it would better fit your honor to change your mind.
May this be so.
I will not think it.
If you dare not trust that you see, confess not that you know. If you will follow me, I will show you enough. And when you have seen more and heard more, proceed accordingly.
If I see anything tonight, why I should not marry her tomorrow in the congregation. Where I should wed, there will I shame her.
And as I wooed for thee to obtain her, I will join with thee to disgrace her.
I will disparage her no farther until you are my witnesses. Bear it coldly until midnight, and let the issue show itself.
O day ontwardly turned.
O mischief strangely thwarting.
O plague rightly well prevented, or so you will say when you have seen the sequel.
Are you good men and true?
Yea, or else it were pity, but they should suffer salvation, body and soul.
Nay, that were a punishment too good for them, if they should have any allegiance in them, being chosen for the prince's watch.
Well, give them their charge, neighbor Dogberry.
First, who think you the most desertless man to be constable?
Hugh Odecake, sir, or George Seacole. for they can both write and read.
Come hither, neighbor Thecol. God hath blessed thee with a good name. To be a well-favored man is the gift of fortune, but to write and read comes by nature.
Both which, Master Constable?
You have. I knew it would be your answer. Well, for your favor, why, give God thanks for it, and make no boast of it. And for your writing and reading, let that appear when there shall be no need of such vanity. You are thought here to be the most senseless and fit man to be constable of the watch. Therefore, bear you the lantern. This is your charge. You shall comprehend all vagrom men, and you are to bid any man stand in the prince's name.
How if they will not stand?
Why then take no note of him, but let him go. And presently call the rest of the watch together, and thank God that you are rid of a knave.
If he will not stand when he is bidden, is he none of the prince's subjects?
True, and you are to meddle with none but the prince's subjects. You shall also make no noise in the streets, for the watch to babble and to talk is most tolerable and not to be endured.
We will rather sleep than talk.
We know what belongs to a watch.
Why, you speak like a most ancient and quiet watchman. For I cannot see how sleeping should offend. Only have a care that your bills be not stolen. Well, you are to call up at all the ale houses and bid those that are drunk get them to bed.
How?
If they will not.
Why, then let them alone till they are sober, and if they make you not then the better answer, you may say they were not the men you took them for.
Ah, well, master.
If you meet a thief, you may suspect him by virtue of your office to be no true man. And for such kind of men, the less you meddle or make with them, why, the more is for your honesty.
If we know him to be a thief,
shall we not lay hands on him?
Truly, by your office you may, but I think they that touch pitch shall be defiled. The most peaceable way for you, if you do take a thief, is to let him show himself what he is, and then steal out of your company.
You have been always called a most merciful man, partner.
Truly, I would not hang a dog by my will, much less a man who hath any honesty in him.
If you hear a child cry in the night, call to the nurse and bid her still it.
How if the nurse be asleep and will not hear us?
Why then depart in peace, and let the child awake her with crying. For the ewe that will not call her lamb when it bathes will never answer her calf when he bleats.
'Tis very true.
This is the end of the charge. You, constable, are to present the prince's own person. If you meet the prince in the middle of the night, you may stay him.
Nay, by Our Lady, that I think he cannot.
5 shillings to 1 on it with any man that knows the statutes. He may stay him. Marry, not without the prince to be willing. For the watch ought to offend no man, and it is certainly an offense to stay a man against his will.
By Our Lady, I think it be so.
Well, masters, good night. And there be any matter of weight chances, call up me. Keep your fellows' counsel, and your own. And good night. Come, neighbor.
Well, master, we hear our charge.
Let us go sit upon this church bench till 2.
And then all to bed.
One word more, honest neighbors. Take this. You'll need them. I pray you watch about Signor Leonato's door. for the wedding being there tomorrow. There is a great coil tonight. Adieu. Be vigilant. I
beseech
you.
This'll be interesting.
What, Conrad?
Peace, stir not.
Conrad, I say.
Here, man, I'm at thy elbow.
I thought the scab would follow.
I would owe thee an answer for that. Now forward with thy tale.
Very well, come then, for it drizzles rain. Draw me beneath this penthouse, and I, like a true drunkard, will utter all to thee.
Such treason, yet stand close.
Therefore know that I have earned of Don John 1,000 ducats.
Is it possible that any villainy should be so dear?
Thou shouldst rather ask if it's possible that any villainy should be so rich. For when rich villains have need of poor ones may make what price they will.
I wonder at it.
Well, it shows thou art unconfirmed. Thou knowest that the price of a cloak or a doublet or a hat is nothing to a man.
Oh, yes, it is apparel.
No, I mean the fashion of it.
Well, yes, the fashion is the fashion.
Oh, tush, thou mayest well say the fool is the fool, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is?
I know this deformed one. He has been a vile thief this 7 years. Goes up and down like a gentleman.
I remember his name.
Dost thou hear something?
No, 'twas the vane on the house.
Yes, but seest thou not what a deformed thief this fashion is? How giddily it turns about the hot bloods between 14 and 5 and 30.
All this I see. And I see that the fashion wears out more apparel than the man. But art not thou thyself giddy with the fashion too, that thou hast shifted from thy tale into telling me of the fashion?
Not so neither, but know that I have tonight wooed Margaret, the waiting gentlewoman of Hero, by the name of Hero. She leans me out her mistress's chamber window and bids me 1,000 times good night. Now I tell this tale vilely, I should first tell thee how the prince and Claudio and my master, planted and placed and possessed by my master, did see the affair from afar off in the gardens.
And thought they that Margaret was Hero?
2 of them did, the prince and Claudio. But the devil my master knew she was Margaret, and partly by his oaths, which did first possess them, partly by the dark night, which did deceive them, but chiefly by my villainy, which did confirm any slander Don John had made. Away went Claudio, enraged, and swore he to meet her at the temple the next morning at the appointed time. And there, before the whole congregation, shame her with what he saw o'ernight, and send her home again without a husband.
We charge you in the prince's name, stand!
Call upright, Master Constable, for we have just here recovered the most dangerous piece of lechery ever known in the Commonwealth.
And one deformed is one of them. I know him. He wears a lock.
Masters,
You'll be made bring deformed forth. I warrant you.
Masters, we
never
have not...
speak. We charge you. Let us obey you to come with us.
We're likely to prove a goodly commodity to these men's bills.
Commodity in question, I warrant you. Come, we'll obey you. Well...
Good Ursula, wake my cousin Beatrice and desire her to rise.
I will, lady.
And bid her come hither.
Well,
Troth, I think your other garments were better.
No, pray thee, Meg. I'll wear this.
By my troth, it's not so good. And I warrant your cousin will say so.
Well, my cousin is a fool, and thou art another. I'll wear none but this.
I like the new tire within excellently, if the hair were thought browner. But your garment's a most rare fashion and faith. I saw the Duchess of Milan's gown that they praise so.
Oh, that exceeds, they say.
Well, by my troth, it's but a nightgown in respect of yours. Cloth of gold, cuts, laced with silver, set with pearls, Down sleeves, side sleeves, skirts all around underborn with a bluish tinsel. But for a fine, quaint, graceful, and excellent fashion, yours is worth 10 on it.
Oh, God give me joy to wear it, for my heart is exceedingly heavy.
'Twill be heavier soon by the weight of a man.
Fie upon thee! Art not ashamed?
Of what, my lady? Of speaking honorably? Is not marriage honorable in a beggar? Is not your lord honorable without marriage? I think you would have me say, saving your reverence, a husband. But bad thinking do not rest true speaking. I'll offend nobody. Is there any harm in the heavier for a husband? None, I think, if it be the right husband and the right wife. Otherwise, 'tis light and not heavy. Ask my Lady Beatrice else. Here she comes.
Good morrow, coz.
Good morrow, sweet hero.
Why, how now? Do you speak the sick tune?
I am all out of other tunes, methinks. 'Tis almost 5 o'clock, cousin. 'Tis time you were getting ready. By my troth, I am exceeding ill. Hi-ho.
For a hawk, a horse, or a husband?
For the letter that begins them all. Eh.
Well, and you be not turned Turk, there's no more sailing by the star.
What needs the fool, troll?
Nothing, but God give everyone their heart's desire.
Well, these gloves the Count sent, they are an excellent perfume.
I am stuffed, cousin. I cannot smell.
A maid and stuffed? There's goodly catching of cold.
Oh, God help me. God help me. How long have you professed apprehension?
Even since you left it. Doth not my wit become me rarely?
It is not seen enough. You should wear it in your cap. Oh, by my troth, I am sick.
Oh, get you some of this distilled Cardus Benedictus and lay it to your heart. It is the only thing for a qualm.
Oh, there, thou prickest her with a thistle.
Benedictus? Why Benedictus? You have some moral in this Benedictus?
Moral? No, by my troth, I have no moral meaning. I meant plain holy thistle. You may think perchance that I may think you are in love. Nay, by Our Lady, I am not such a fool to think what I list. Nor I list not to think what I can. Nor indeed I cannot think my heart out of thinking that you are in love, or that you will be in love, or that you can be in love. Yet Benedick was such another, and now is he become a man. He swore he would never marry, and yet now, in despite of his heart, he eats his meat without grudging. And how you may be converted, I know not. But methinks you look with your eyes as other women do.
What pace is this that thy tongue keeps?
Not a false gallop.
Madam, withdraw. The prince, the count, Signor Benedick, Don John, and all the gallants of the town will come to fetch you to church.
Help to dress me, good coz. Good Meg, good Ursula.
What would you with me, honest neighbor?
Marry, sir, I would have some confidence with you that discerns you nearly.
Brief, I pray you, for you see it is a busy time with me.
Marry, this it is, sir.
Yes, in truth it is, sir.
What is it, my good friends?
Goodman Burgess, sir, speaks a little off the matter. An old man, sir, and his wits are not so blunt as, God help, I would desire they were, but in faith honest as the skin between his brows.
Yes, I thank God that I'm as honest as any man living. That is an old man and no honester than I.
Comparisons are odorous, palabrous, neighbor Burgess.
Neighbors, you are tedious.
It pleases your worship to say so. But we are the poor duke's officers. But truly, for mine own part, if I were as tedious as a king, I could find it in my heart to bestow it all of your worship.
All of thy tediousness on me,
Yea, and 'twere 1,000 pounds more than 'tis. For I hear as good of an exclamation on your worship as of any man in the city, and though I be but a poor man, I am glad to hear it.
And so am I.
I would fain know what it is you have to say.
Marry, sir, our watch tonight, accepting your worship's presence, have taken in a couple of as errant knaves as any in Messina.
An old man, sir. He will be talking, as they say. When the age is in, the wit is out. God help us, it is a world to see. Well said of faith, neighbor Burgess.
Uh-huh.
Well, God's a good man, and 2 men ride of a horse, one must ride behind. An honest soul of faith, sir, by my troth he is, as ever a man was that broke bread. But God is to be worshipped. All men are not alike. Alas, good neighbor.
Indeed, neighbor, he comes too short of you.
Gifts that God gives.
I must leave you.
Marry, sir, our watch, sir, have indeed tonight, sir, comprehended 2 auspicious persons, and we would have them this morning examined before your worship.
Take their examination yourself, and bring it me. I am now in great haste, as it may appear unto you.
It shall be sufficient.
Drink some wine ere you go. Fare you well.
My lord, they stay for you to give your daughter to her husband.
I will wait upon them. I am ready.
Go, good partner, go. Get you to Francis Seacole and bid him bring his pen and inkhorn to the gale. We are now to examination these men.
And we must do it wisely.
We will spare for no wit, I warrant you. Here's that shall drive them to a non-cum. Only get the learned writer to set down our excommunication and meet me at the gale.
Come, Friar Francis, be brief. Only to the plain form of marriage, and you shall recount their particular duties afterwards.
You come hither, my lord, to marry this lady.
No.
To be married to her, Friar. You come to marry her.
Lady, you come hither to be married to this count.
I do.
If either of you know any inward impediment, why you should not be conjoined together, charge you on your souls to utter it.
Know you any hero?
None, my lord.
And know you any count?
I dare make his answer none.
Oh, what men dare do, what men may do, what men daily do, not knowing what they do.
How now? Interjections? Why then some be of laughing.
Stand thee by, friar. Father, by your leave, will you with free and unconstrained soul give me this maid, your daughter?
As freely, son, as God did give her me.
And what have I to give you back, whose worth may counterpoise this rich and precious gift?
Nothing, unless you render her again.
Sweet prince, you learn me noble thankfulness. There, Leonato! Take her back again! Give not this rotten orange to your friend, for she is but the sign and semblance of her honor. Behold, how like a maid she blushes here. Oh, what authority and show of truth can cunning sin cover itself withal? And comes not that blood as modest evidence to witness simple virtue? Would you not swear, all you that see her, that she were a maid by these exterior shows? But she is none. She knows the heat of a luxurious bed. Her blush is guiltiness, not modesty.
What do you mean, my lord?
Not to be married, not to knit my soul to an approved wanton.
Dear my lord, if you in your own proof have vanquished the resistance of her youth and made defeat of her virginity...
I know what you would say. If I had known her, you would say that she didn't embrace me as a husband and therefore extenuate the forehand sin. No, Leonato. I never tempted her with word too large, but as a brother to his sister show bashful sincerity and comely love.
And seemed I'd ever otherwise to you?
Out on thee seeming, I will write against it. You seem to me as Diane in her orb, as chaste as is the bud, ere it be blown. But you are more intemperate in your blood than Venus, or those pampered animals that rage in savage sensuality.
Is my lord well that he doth speak so wide?
Sweet prince, why speak not you? What should I speak? I stand dishonored that have gone about to link my dear friend with a common stale.
Are these things spoken, or do I but dream?
Sir, they are spoken, and these things are true.
This looks not like a nuptial.
True. Oh, God.
Leonato, stand I here. Is this the prince? Is this the prince's brother? Is this face hero's? Are our eyes our own?
All this is so, but what of this, my lord?
Let me but move one question to your daughter, and by that fatherly and kindly power that you have in her, bid her answer truly.
I charge thee do so, as thou art my child.
Oh, God, defend me. How am I beset? What kind of catechizing call you this?
To make you answer truly to your name.
Was it not Hero? Who can blot that name with any just reproach?
Mary, that is Hero. Hero itself can blot out Hero's virtue. Now what man was he that talked with you yesternight out at your window betwixt 12 and 1? If you are made answer to this!
I talked with no man at that hour, my lord.
Why then are you no maiden? Leonato, I am sorry you must hear. Upon my honor, myself, my brother, and this grief count did see her, hear her at that hour last night, talk with a ruffian at her chamber window, who indeed, most like a liberal villain, discussed the vile encounters they have had 1,000 times in secret.
Fie, my lord, they are not to be named, not to be spoken. There's no chastity in language without offense to utter them. Thus, pretty lady, I am sorry for thy much misgovernment.
O hero, what a hero hadst thou been if half thy outward graces had been placed about the thoughts and counsels of thy heart. But fare thee well, most foul, most fair. Farewell, thou pure impiety and impious purity. For thee I'll lock up all the gates of love, and on my eyelids shall conjecture hang, to turn all beauty into thoughts of harm, and never shall it more be gracious.
Hath no man's dagger here a point for me?
Oh! Why, oh no, hero, wherefore sink you down?
Come, let us go. These things thus come to light, smother her spirits up.
How doth the lady?
Dead, I think. Help, uncle! Hero, why, hero! Uncle! Signor Benedick Friar!
Oh, fate! Take not away thy heavy hand. Death is the fairest cover for her shame that may be wished for.
Oh no, cousin Hero.
Have comfort, lady.
Dost thou look up?
Yea, wherefore should she not?
Wherefore? Why doth not every earthly thing cry shame upon her? Could she here deny the story that is printed in her blood? Do not live, hero. Do not open thine eyes, for did I think thou wouldst not die quickly, thought I thy spirits were stronger than thy shames, myself would strike at thy life. Grieved I had but one. Chid I for that at frugal nature's frame, but one too much by thee. Why had I one? Why ever wast thou lovely in my eyes? She is fallen into a pit of ink that the wide sea hath drops too few to wash her clean again, and salt too little which may season gift to her foul, tainted flesh.
Sir, be patient. For my part, I am so attired in wonder, I know not what to say.
Oh, on my soul, my cousin is belied.
Lady, were you her bedfellow last night?
No, truly not. Although until last night I have this
Confirmed.
12 months been her bedfellow.
Confirmed! Would the two princes lie? And Claudio lie, who loved her so that, speaking of her foulness, washed it with tears. Hence, from her let her die!
Hear me a little, for I've only been silent so long and given way into this course of fortune. By noting of the lady, I have marked 1,000 blushing apparitions to start into her face. 1,000 innocent shames in angel whiteness beat away those blushes, and in her eye there hath appeared a fire, to burn the errors that the princes hold against her maiden truth. Call me a fool, trust not my readings nor my observations, which with experimental seal doth warrant the tenor of my book. Trust not my age, reverence, calling, nor divinity, if this sweet lady lie not guiltless here, under some biting error.
Friar, it cannot be. Thou seest that the only grace that she hath left is that she not add to her damnation a sin of perjury. She not denies it. Why seekest thou then to cover with excuse that which appears in proper nakedness?
Lady, what man is he you are accused of?
I know that you accuse me. I know not. I know more of any man alive than that which maiden modesty doth warrant. Then may all my sin lack mercy. Father, prove you that I conversed with any man yesternight, or that I exchanged words with any creature at hours unmet. Refuse me, hate me, and torture me to death.
Some strange misprison in the princes.
2 of them have the very bent of honor. And if their wisdoms be misled in this, the practice of it lives in John the Bastard, whose spirits toil in frame of villainies.
I know not. If they speak but truth of her, these hands will tear her. If they do wrong her honor, the proudest of them shall well hear of it.
Pause a while. Let my counsel sway you in this case. Your daughter here the princes left for dead. Let her a while be secretly kept in, and publish it that she is dead indeed. Hold a mourning ostentation, and on your family's old monument hang mournful epitaphs, and do all rites that appertain unto a burial.
What shall become of this? What will this do?
Mary, this woe carried shall on her behalf change slander to remorse. That is some good. She dying, as it must so be maintained upon the instant that she was accused, shall be lamented, pitied, and excused of every hearer. For it so falls out that what we have, we prize not the worth while we enjoy it, but being lacked and lost, then we rack the value. Then we find the virtue that possession would not show us while it was ours. And so will it fare with Claudio. When he shall hear that she died upon his words, the idea of her life shall sweetly creep into his study of imagination, and every lovely organ of her life shall come apparel in more precious habit, more moving, delicate, and full of life than when she lived indeed. Then shall he mourn, if ever love had interest in his liver. And wish he had not so accused her. No, though he thought his accusation true. Let this be so, and doubt not but success will fashion the event in better shape than I can lay it down in likelihood. But if all aim but this be levelled false, the supposition of the lady's death will quench the wonder of her infamy. And if it sort not well, you may conceal her, as best befits her wounded reputation, in some reclusive and religious life, out of all eyes, tongues, minds, and injuries.
Signor Leonato, let the friar advise you. And though you know my inwardness and love is very much into the prince and Claudio, I will deal in this as secretly and justly as your soul should with your body.
Being that I flow in grief, the smallest twine may lead me.
'Tis well consented. Presently away. Come, lady, die to live. This wedding day is but prolonged. Have patience and endure.
Lady Beatrice, have you wept all this while?
Yea, and I will weep a while longer.
I would not desire that.
Have no reason. I do it freely.
Surely I do believe your fair cousin is wronged.
How much might the man deserve of me that would right her?
Is there any way to show such friendship?
A very even way, but no such friend.
May a man do it?
It is a man's office, but not yours.
I do love nothing in the world so well as you. Is not that strange?
Strange is the thing I know not. It were as possible for me to say I love nothing so well as you, but believe me not, and yet I lie not. I confess nothing, nor I deny nothing. I am sorry for my cousin.
By the heavens, Beatrice, thou lovest me.
Do not swear, and eat it.
I will swear by it that you love me, and I will make him eat it that says I love not you.
Will you not eat your word?
With no sauce that can be devised to it. I protest. I love thee.
Why then, God forgive me.
What offense, sweet Beatrice?
You stayed me in a happy hour. I was about to protest I loved you.
And do it with all thy heart.
I love you with so much of my heart that none is left to protest.
Come, bid me do anything for thee.
Kill Claudio.
Not for the wide world.
You kill me to deny it. Farewell.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice.
I am gone, though I am here. No, there is no love in you. I pray you, let me go.
Beatrice.
In faith, I will go.
We'll be friends first.
You dare easier be friends with me than fight with mine enemy.
Is Claudio thine enemy?
Is he not approved in the height a villain that hath slandered, scorned, dishonored my kinswoman? Oh, that I were a man! What, bear her in hand until they come to take hands, and then, with public accusation, uncovered slander, unmitigated rancor, oh God, that I were a man, I would eat his heart in the marketplace.
Hear me, Beatrice.
Talk with a man out a window, a proper saying.
Nay, but Beatrice.
Sweet hero, she is wronged, she is slandered, she is undone.
Beatrice,
oh, that I were a man for his sake, or that I had any friend would be a man for my sake. But manhood is melted into courtesies, and valor into compliment, and men are only turned into tongue, and trim ones too. He is now as valiant as Hercules, that only tells a lie and swears it. I cannot be a man with wishing, therefore I will die a woman with grieving.
Tarry, sweet Beatrice. By this hand I love thee.
Use it for my love some other way than swearing by it.
Think you in your soul that Count Claudio hath wronged Tiro?
Hey, as sure as I have a thought or a soul.
Enough. I am engaged. I will challenge him. I will kiss your hand, and so I leave you. By this hand, Claudio shall render me a dear account. As you hear of me, so think of me. Go, comfort your cousin. I must say she is dead. And so, farewell.
Our whole assembly appeared.
Oh, a stool and a cushion for the sexton.
Which be the malefactors?
Marry, that am I and my partner.
Nay, that's certain. We have come to examine the exhibition.
But which are the offenders that are to be examined? Bring them before Master Constable?
Yes, let them come before me. What is your name, friend?
Borachio.
Pray, write down
Borachio.
Oh!
your thraw.
I am a gentlewoman, and my name is Conrad.
Write down Master Gentlewoman Conrad. Masters, do you serve God?
Yea,
Yes,
Master.
sir.
We hope.
Write down that they hope They serve God, and right God first, for God defend, but God's to go before such villains. Masters, it is proved already that you are little better than false knaves, and it will go near to be thought so shortly. How answer you for yourselves?
Marry, sir, we say we are none.
Marvelous witty, I assure you, but I will go about with her. Come you hither, sir. A word in your ear, sirrah. I say to you, it is thought you are false knaves!
And I say to you, sir, we are none.
Oh, well, stand aside, for God, they are both in a tale. Have you written down that they are none?
Master Constable, you go not the way to examine. You must first call forth the watch that are their accusers.
Yea, Mary, that's the eftest way. Let the watch come forth. Master, I charge you, in the prince's name, accuse these two.
This man said, sir, that Don John, the prince's brother, was a villain.
Write down Prince John a villain. Why, this is a flat perjury to call a prince's brother villain.
Masters, please.
Pray thee, fellow, peace. I do not like thy look, I promise thee.
What heard you him say else?
Mary, that he had received 1,000 ducats of Don John for accusing Lady Hero wrongfully.
Flat burglary as ever was committed.
Yea, by mass, that it is.
What else, fellow?
And that Count Claudio did mean, upon his own words, to disgrace Lady Hero before the whole assembly and not marry her.
Oh, villain, thou wilt be condemned into everlasting redemption for this.
What else?
This is all.
This is more, masters, than you can deny. Prince John is this morning secretly stolen away, and Hero, in this manner accused, and in this manner refused, and upon the grief of this, suddenly died. Master Constable, let these two be bound and taken to Leonato's. I shall go before and show him their examination.
Come, let them be opinioned.
Yea, let them be in the hands.
Come. God's my life. Where's the sexton? Let him write down the prince's officer coxcomb. Come, bind her, thou naughty varlet.
Oh, you're an ass! You're an ass!
Dost thou not suspect my place? Dost thou not suspect my years? Oh, that he were here to write me down an ass! But masters, remember, though it be not written down, yet forget not that I am an ass!
I got it.
No, thou villain! Thou art full of piety, as shall be proved upon thee by good witness. I am a wise fellow. And which is more, an officer. And which is more, a householder. And which is more, as pretty a piece of flesh as it is in Messina. And a man that knows the law go too. And a rich fellow enough go too. And a man that hath had losses. And a man that hath 2 gowns and everything handsome about him. Bring her away. Oh, that I had been writ down an ass. Oh, where is he?
'Tis true.
go on thus, you will kill yourself. And 'tis not wisdom thus to second grief against yourself.
I pray thee, cease thy counsel, which falls into my ears as profitless as water in a sieve. Give not me counsel, nor let no comforter delight mine ears, but such a one whose wrongs do suit with mine. Bring me a father that so loved his child, whose joy of her is overwhelmed like mine, and bid him speak of patience. Measure his woe the length and breadth of mine, and let it answer every strain. For strain, if such a one will smile and stroke his beard, bring him yet to me, and I of him will gather patience. But there is no such man. Therefore give me no counsel. My griefs cry louder than advertisement.
Therein do men from children nothing differ.
I pray thee, peace! I will be flesh and blood. For there was never yet philosopher could endure the toothache. However, they have writ the style of gods and made a push at chance and suffering.
Yet bend not all the harm upon yourself. Make those that do offend you suffer too.
There thou speakest reason. Nay, I will do so. My soul doth tell me Hero is belied, and that will Claudio know. So shall the prince, and all of them that thus dishonor her.
Here come the prince and Claudio hastily.
Good day.
Good day to both.
Hear you, my lords.
Some haste, Leonardo.
Some haste, my lord. Well, fare you well, my lord. Are you so hasty now? Well, all is one.
Nay, do not quarrel with us, good old man.
If he could right himself with quarreling, some of us would lie low.
Who wrongs him?
Mary, thou dost wrong me. Thou dissembler, thou, nay, never lay thy hand upon thy sword. I fear thee not.
Mary, beshrew my hand if it should give your age such cause of fear. In faith, my hand meant nothing to my sword.
Tush, tush, man. Never fleer and jest at me. I speak not like a dotard nor a fool, as under privilege of age to brag what I have done being young, or what would do were I not old. No, Claudio, to thy head. Thou hast so wronged mine innocent child and me that I am forced to lay my reverence by, and with gray hairs and bruise of many days to challenge thee to trial of a man. I say thou hast belied mine innocent child. Thy slander hath gone through and through her heart, and she lies buried now with her ancestors, in a tomb where never scandal slept, save this of hers framed by thy villainy.
My villainy?
Thine, Claudio. Thine, I say.
You say not right, old man.
My lord. My lord, I'll prove it on his body if he dare. Despite his nice fence and his active practice, his May of youth and his bloom of lustihood.
Away, I will not have to do with you.
Canst thou so doff me? Thou hast killed my child! If thou killest me, boy, thou shalt kill a man.
Thou shalt kill the two of us. But nay, that's no matter. Let him kill one first. Come, win me and wear me, boy. Come, answer me. Come, follow me, sir, boy.
Sister!
Consent yourself. God knows I loved my niece, and she's dead. Slandered to death by villains.
Both! We will not wake your patience. My heart is sorry for your daughter's death, but upon my honor, she was charged with nothing but what was true and very full of proof.
My lord! My lord!
I will not hear you.
No. Come, sister. Away. I will be heard.
And shall. Or some of us will smart for it.
See? See? Here comes the man we came to seek.
Now, Signor, what news?
Good day, my lord. Welcome, Signor. You are almost come to part almost affray.
We had like to have had our two noses snapped off.
What thinkest thou? Had we fought, I doubt we would have been too young for them.
In a false quarrel, there is no true valor. I came to seek you both.
We have been up and down to seek thee, for we are high-proof melancholy, and would fain have it beaten away. Wilt thou use thy wit?
It is in my scabbard. Shall I draw it?
Dost thou wear thy wit by thy side?
Never any did so. Though very many have been beside their wit. I will bid thee draw as we do the minstrels. Draw to pleasure us.
As I am an honest man, he looks pale. Art thou sick or angry?
What courage, man?
By this light he changes more and more. I think he be angry indeed.
If he be, he knows how to turn his girdle.
Shall I speak a word in your ear?
God bless me from a challenge.
You are a villain. I jest not. I will make it good how you dare, when you dare, and with what you dare. Do me right, or I will protest your cowardice. You have killed a sweet lady, and her death shall fall heavy on you. Let me hear from you.
Well, I will meet you, so I may have good cheer.
I'll tell thee how Beatrice praised thy wit the other day. I said, thou hadst a fine wit. True, said she. A fine little one. No, said I, a great wit. Right, said she, a great gross one. Nay, said I, a good wit. Certain, said she, it hurts nobody. Nay, said I, the gentleman is wise. Indeed, said she, a wise gentleman. Nay, said I, he hath the tongues. That I believe, said she, for he swore a thing to me on Monday that he forswore on Tuesday. There's a double tongue, there's two tongues. Thus did she an hour together transcribe thy particular virtues. Yet at last she did conclude with a sigh, oh, thou wast the properest man in Italy.
For the which she wept heartily and said she cared not.
Yea, that she did, and yet, for all that, if she did not hate him deadly, she would love him dearly.
Moreover, God saw him when he was hid in the garden.
But when shall we set the savage bull's horns on the sensible Benedick's head?
Yea, and text underneath, here dwells Benedick, the married man.
Fare you well, boy. You know my mind. I will leave you now to your gossip-like humor. My lord, for your many courtesies I thank you. I must discontinue your company. Your brother the bastard has fled from Messina. You have among you killed a sweet and innocent lady. As for my lord Blackbeard there, he and I shall meet again, and till then, peace be with him.
He is in earnest.
In most profound earnest. And I'll warrant you for the love of Beatrice.
And hath challenged thee.
Most sincerely.
What a pretty thing man is when he goes into his doublet and hose and leaves off his wit.
He is then a giant to an ape. But then is an ape a doctor to such a man?
Soft you now. Let me be. Pluck up my heart and be sad. Didst he not say my brother was fled?
Come you, ma'am. If justice cannot tame you, she shall ne'er weigh more reasons in her balance, nay. And you be a cursing hypocrite once you must be looked to.
How now? Two of my brother's servants bound. Brought you one.
Hearken after their offense, my lord.
Officers, what offense have these men done?
Marry, sir, they have committed false report. Moreover, they have spoken untruth. Secondarily, they are slanders. Sixth, and lastly, they have belied a lady. Thirdly, they have verified unjust things. And to conclude, they are lying knaves.
First, I asked thee what they have done. Thirdly, what is their charge? Sixth and lastly, why they are committed. And to conclude, what you lay to their offense.
Rightly reasoned, and in his own division. And by my troth, there's one meaning well suited.
Who have you offended, masters, that you are thus bound to your answer? This learned constable is too cunning to be understood. What is your offense?
Oh, my master, do you hear me, and let this count kill me. What your wise eyes could not decipher, these Shallow fools have brought into light, who in the night did overhear me confessing to this woman how I was incensed by your brother Don John to slander the Lady Hero, how you were brought into the garden and saw me courting Margaret in Hero's garments, how you disgraced her when you should have married her. These things they have upon my record, and briefly, sir, I should rather die than repeat them over to my shame. The lady is dead upon mine and my master's false accusation, and I desire nothing but the reward of a villain.
Runs not this speech like iron through your blood?
I have drunk poison whilst he uttered it.
And this my brother set thee onto this?
Aye, and paid me richly for the practice of it.
He is composed and framed of treachery, and fled he has upon this villainy.
Sweet hero, now thy image doth appear in the rare semblance that I loved it first.
Come, bring away the plaintiffs. By this time our sexton hath reformed Signor Leonato of the matter. And masters, do not forget to specify when time and place shall serve that I am an ass.
Here comes Master Signor Leonato and his sister Antonia.
Which is the villain? Let me see his eyes, that when I note another man like him, I may avoid him. Which of these is he?
My lord, look you no further for your own answer, for it is I.
Art thou the slave that with thy breath hast killed mine innocent child?
Yea, lord, and even I alone.
No, not so, villain. Thou beliest thyself. Here stand a pair of honorable men. A third is fled that had a hand in it. I thank you, princes, for my daughter's death. Recorded with your high and worthy deeds. 'Twas bravely done, if you bethink you of it.
I know not how to pray your patience, yet I must speak. Choose you avenge yourself. Impose me to what penance your invention can lay upon my sin. Yet sinned I not, but in mistaking.
By my soul, nor I. And yet, to satisfy this good old man, I would bend under any heavy weight that he'll enjoin me to.
I cannot bid you bid my daughter live. That were impossible. But I pray you both, possess the people in Messina here how innocent she died. And if your love can labor aught in sad invention, hang an epitaph upon her tomb and sing it to her bones. Sing it tonight. Tomorrow, come you to my house. And since you could not be my son-in-law, be yet my nephew. My sister hath a daughter almost the copy of my child that's dead, and she alone is heir to both of us. Give her the right you should have given her cousin. And so dies my revenge.
O noble sir, your overkindness doth wring tears from me. I do embrace your offer, and dispose for henceforth of poor Claudio.
Tomorrow morning, then, I will expect your coming. Tonight I take my leave. This naughty man shall face to face be brought to Margaret, who I believe is packed in all this wrong, hired to it by your brother.
No, my lord, but she hath been just and virtuous in everything I did know by her, nor knew she of anything I had done. I swear by my soul she did not.
Moreover, sir, which indeed is not under white and black, this plaintiff here, the offender, did call me an ass. I beseech you, let it be remembered in her punishment. Pray you, examine her upon that point.
I thank thee for thy care and honest pains.
Why, your worship speaks like a most thankful and reverent youth, and I praise God for you.
There's for thy pains.
Oh, God save the foundation.
Go. I discharge thee of thy prisoner, and I thank thee.
I leave an errant knave with your worship, which I
beseech
your worship to correct yourself for the example of others. God keep your worship. I wish your worship well. God restore you to health. I humbly give you leave to depart, and if a merry meeting may be wished, God prohibit it.
Amen.
Come, neighbors.
Until tomorrow morning, lords. Farewell.
Farewell, my lords. We look for you tomorrow.
We will not fail.
Tomorrow I'll mourn with Hero.
Bring you these fellows on. We'll talk with Margaret. Our acquaintance grew with this lewd fellow.
Pray thee, sweet Miss Margaret, deserve well at my hands by helping me to the speech of Beatrice.
Will you then write me a sonnet in praise of my beauty?
In so high a style, Margaret, that no man living shall come over it. For, in most comely truth, thou deservest it.
To have no man come over me? Why shall I always keep below stairs?
Thy wit is as quick as the greyhound's mouth, Margaret. It catches.
And yours as blunt as the fencer's foils, which hit but hurt not.
A most manly wit. It will hurt not a woman. And now, I pray thee, call Beatrice. I give thee the bucklers.
Give us the swords, for we have bucklers of our own.
If you use them, you must put in the pikes for the vice, and they are dangerous weapons for maids.
Well, I will call Beatrice to you, who I think hath legs.
And therefore will come. The God of love that sits above and knows me, how pitiful I deserve. I mean, in singing, but in loving. Leander, the good swimmer. Troilus, the first employer of panders. And a whole bookful of these quondam carpetmangers, whose names run yet smoothly on the even road of blank verse. Why, they were never so truly turned over and over as my poor self in love. Married. I cannot put it in rhyme. I can find no rhyme for lady but baby, an innocent rhyme. For scorn, horn, a hard rhyme. For school, fool, a babbling rhyme. Very ominous endings. No, I was not born under the rhyming planet. No, I cannot woo in festival terms. Sweet Beatrice, wouldst thou come when I called thee?
Yea, signor, and depart when you bid me.
Oh, stay but till then.
Oh, then is spoken. Fare thee well now. And yet, ere I go, Let me leave with that I came, which is with knowing what hath passed between you and Claudio.
Only foul words, and thereupon I will kiss thee.
Ooh, foul words is but foul wind, and foul wind is but foul breath, and foul breath is noisome. Therefore I will depart unkissed.
Thou hast frighted the word out of its right sense. So forcible is thy wit. But I must tell thee plainly, Claudio undergoes my challenge. And either I will hear from him shortly, or I will subscribe him a coward. And now, I pray thee, tell me, for which of my bad parts didst thou first fall in love with me?
For them all together, which maintain so politic a state of evil that they will not admit any good part to intermingle with them. But for which of my good parts did you first suffer love for me?
Suffer love? A good epithet. For indeed I do suffer love, since I love you against my will.
In spite of your heart, I think. Alas, poor heart. If you spite it for my sake, I will spite it for yours, for I will never love that which my friend hates.
Thou and I are too wise to woo peaceably.
It appears not in this confession. There's not one wise man among 20 that will praise himself.
An old instance, Beatrice, that lived in the lime of good neighbors. If a man do not erect in this age his own tomb ere he dies, he shall live no longer in monument than the bell rings and the widow weeps.
And how long is that, think you?
Question. Why an hour in clamor and a quarter in room? Therefore is it most expedient for the wise, if Don Worm, his conscience, find no impediment to the contrary, to be the trumpet of his own virtues, as I am to myself. So much for praising myself, who, I myself will bear witness, is praiseworthy. And now, tell me, how doth your cousin?
Very ill.
And how do you?
Very ill, too.
Serve God, love me, and mend. There will I leave you, for here comes another one in haste.
Madam, you must come to your uncle, yonder's old coil at home. It is proved my lady hero hath been falsely accused. The prince and Claudio mightily abused, and Don John is the author of all, who is fed and gone. Will you come presently?
Will you go hear this news, Signor?
I will live in thy heart, die in thy lap, and be buried in thine eyes. Moreover, I will go with thee unto thy uncle's.
Is this the monument of Leonato?
It is, my lord.
Done to death by slanderous tongues was the hero that here lies. Death and guerdon of her wrongs gives her fame which never dies. So the life that died with shame lives in death with glorious fame. Lie thou there upon her tomb, praising her when I am dumb. Now unto thy bones, good night. Yearly will I do this right.
Come. Let us hence. Put on other reeds, and then to Leonato's we will go.
And Hymen now with luckier issue speeds than this for whom we rendered up this woe.
Did I not tell you she was innocent?
So are the prince and Claudio, who accused her upon the error which you heard debated. But Margaret was in some fault for all this, although against her will, as it appears in the true course of all the question.
Well, I am glad that all things sort so well.
And so am I, being else by faith, and forced to call young Claudio to a reckoning for it.
Well, daughter, and you gentlewomen all, Withdraw into a chamber by yourselves, and when I send for you, come hither, masked. The prince and Claudio promised by this hour to visit me. Sister, you know your office. You must be father to your brother's daughter and give her to young Claudio.
Which I will do with confirmed countenance.
Good friar, I must entreat your pains, I think.
To do what, senor?
To bind me or undo me. One of the two. Signor Leonato, truth it is, good signor, your niece regards me with an eye of favor.
That I, my daughter, lent her, 'tis most true.
And I do, with an eye of love, requite her.
The sight whereof I think you have from me, from Claudio, and the prince. But what's your will?
Your answer, sir, is enigmatical, but for my will is your good will may stand with ours this day, to be conjoined in the state of honorable marriage, in which, good friar, I shall desire your help.
My heart is with your liking.
And my help. Here comes the prince and Claudio.
Good morrow to this fair assembly.
Good morrow, prince. Good morrow, Claudio. We here attend you. Are you yet today determined to marry with my sister's daughter?
Most definitely.
Call her forth, sister. Here's the friar ready.
How now, Benedick? Why such a February face? So full of frost, of storm, and cloudiness.
I think he thinks upon the savage bull. Tush, fear not, man. We'll tip thy horns with gold, and all Europa shall rejoice at thee, as once Europa did at lusty Jove, when he would play the noble beast in love. For this I owe you. Here comes other reckonings. Which is the lady I must seize upon?
This same is she, and I do give you her.
Why, then she's mine. Sweet, let me see your face.
No, that thou shalt not do till thou have taken her hand before this friar and sworn to marry her.
Give me your hand before this holy friar. I am your husband, if you like of me.
And when I lived, I was your other wife. When you loved, you were my other husband.
A former hero? The hero that is dead?
Another hero.
Nothing certainer. One hero died defiled, but I do live. And as surely as I live, I am a maid.
She died, my lord, but whiles her slander lived.
All this amazement can I qualify. After that, when the holy rites are ended, I'll tell you largely a fair hero's death. Meantime, let wonder seem familiar, and to the chapel let us presently.
Soft and fair, friar. Which is Beatrice?
I answer to that name. What is your will?
Do not you love me?
Why, no. No more than reason.
And your uncle, the prince and Claudio, hath been deceived. They swore you did.
Do not you love me?
Troth, no. No more than reason.
Well, then my cousin Margaret and Ursula were much deceived, for they did swear you did.
They swore you were almost sick for me.
They swore you were well nigh dead for me.
'Tis no such matter. Then you do not love me?
No, truly, but in friendly recompense.
Come, cousin, I am sure you love the gentleman.
And I'll be sworn upon it that he loves her. For here's a paper written in his hand, a halting sonnet of his own pure brain, fashioned to Beatrice.
And here's another, written in my cousin's hand, taken from her pocket, containing her love unto Benedict.
A miracle. Here's our own hands against our hearts. Come, I will have thee. By this light I take thee for pity.
I would not deny you, but by this good day I yield upon great persuasion. And partly to save your life, for I was told you were in a consumption.
Peace. I will stop your mouth.
How dost thou, Benedict? The married man.
I'll tell thee what, prince. A college of witcrackers cannot flout me out of my humor. Dost thou think I care for a satire or an epigram? No. If a man be beaten with brains and shall wear nothing handsome about him. In brief, since I do purpose to marry, I will think nothing to any purpose that the world can say against it. And therefore never flout at me for what I have said against it. For man is a giddy thing. And this is my conclusion. For thy part, Claudio, I did thinks to have beaten thee. But in that, thou art like to be my kinsman. Live unbruised in love, cousin.
I had well hoped thou wouldst have denied, Beatrice, that I might have cudgelled thee out of thy single life to make thee a double dealer. Which out of question thou wilt be if my cousin do not look exceedingly narrowly to thee.
Come, we are friends. Let us dance ere we are married, that we may lighten our own hearts and our wives' heels.
We'll have dancing afterwards.
First of my word. Prince, thou art sad. Get thee a wife, get thee a wife. There is no staff more reverend than the one tipped with horn.
My lord, your brother John is taken in fight and brought with armed men back to Messina.
Think not on him till tomorrow. I'll devise thee brave punishments for him. Strike up, pipers.